Inbounds pass comes into Jordan. Here's Michael at the foul line. A shot on Elo. Good! The Bulls win! They win it!
What if this and this?
Harper's on him. Behind the screen. Harper got a piece of it. It comes off. The Chicago Bulls
Never happened. Would an influential sports icon still be the same if he wasn't in his same jersey? What if? What it do? My name is SFB Sports and welcome back. Today is a different one and the first from my channel. A brand new series where I and sometimes a special guest will be covering what ifs from all over college and the NBA. Also, if you're new and enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like and make sure to subscribe for more content like this. To all of my awesome subscribers and non-subscribers out there, we are 21 subscribers away from 100, and that is a significant milestone for me. So make sure to share this video and get your friends and anyone you know who loves sports as much as I do in this direction. Alright, I'll shut up now. Let's get into the video. Let us begin our journey here, the 1984 draft. The Houston Rockets still draft Hakeem Olajuwon with the first pick because they too believe that Hakeem was a better choice than Michael Jordan. They also needed a big man. Picking second would have been the Portland Trail Blazers, who decided to grow a brain this time, and instead of picking the NBA's biggest bust, Sam Bowie, they draft Michael Jordan out of the University of North Carolina, and Bowie falls to the third pick to be drafted by the Chicago Bulls. And this is where the draft continues as normal. Charles Barkley would still go 5th to the 76ers, Otis Thorpe would still go 9th to the Kansas City Kings, and John Stockton would still go 16th to the Utah Jazz. Then the summer continues, and we continue into the 1984-85 NBA season, where the Portland Trail Blazers win 32 more games with Jordan and go 74-8, finishing second in the West behind the Los Angeles Lakers. And the Chicago Bulls, no shock to anyone, lose one more game than they had without Michael. There are some major changes to the awards. Originally, Larry Bird had won the MVP, but in this scenario, apparently, Magic Johnson wins MVP, Charles Barkley wins Rookie of the Year over Michael Jordan, and Pat Riley wins Coach of the Year for the Los Angeles Lakers. Now we get into the playoffs. In the first round, the Portland Trail Blazers defeat the Kansas City Kings 4-0. Then go on to defeat the Los Angeles Clippers 4-1. And now, in the third round, the conference finals, we get to see Michael Jordan's first ever matchup with Magic Johnson. Michael defeats Johnson 4-3 in 7 games. After defeating the Lakers in 7, the Trailblazers go on to face Larry Bird and the Celtics. It starts off good and the Trailblazers go up 3-1. Then the Blazers cap it off by going 4-1 for Michael Jordan's first ever NBA championship, and to put the cherry on top, Michael's first finals MVP. 7 years before he wins his first NBA championship with the Bulls, which I think is incredible and how drastic a simple change can make in the NBA. I thought that Michael and Drexler would struggle a whole lot more against Bird and a very good Celtics team. Also, I would like to apologize right now for not being able to show you guys the draft there was a mistake with the NBA teams, and many of the players from these NBA teams that they went to don't yet exist and would exist later in around 1988 to 1995. So I had to cut that part out completely, so I apologize now. And if you have any questions, we can figure something out. Going into the 1985 offseason, the Portland Trailblazers and Michael Jordan are ecstatic coming off their first NBA championship win. At the end of the 1985 season, the Portland Trailblazers finished 81-1. Michael Jordan wins the MVP going into the 1985 playoffs. It seems like the Portland Trailblazers are going to be a high favorite to win based on their fantastic record this season. Trailblazers sweep through the Denver Nuggets in the first round, winning the series 4-0. They continue on to dominate the Houston Rockets in the second round, where the Trailblazers defeat the Rockets in 5 games 4-1. The Trailblazers then go on to play Magic and the Lakers once again and defeat them once again in 7 games, but Jordan and the Trailblazers managed to overcome. The Trailblazers then face the 76ers and Charles Barkley in the finals. The 76ers are no match for the Portland Trailblazers, who defeat them in 5 games 4-1. For the second year in a row, Michael Jordan is crowned Finals MVP and gains his second championship. Entering the 1986 offseason, Drexler and Jordan are extremely ecstatic after winning 2 years in a row of championships. After leaving the offseason, the 1986 season plays out as normal. At the end, the Trailblazers finish 64-8 and finish at the top of the West. Magic Johnson again wins the MVP, heading into the 1986 playoffs. In the first round, the Portland Trailblazers, who are the number 1 seed in the West, finish off the Seattle Sonics 4-2. Then head over to face the Kansas City Kings in the second round and finish off them 4-2 as well. Then they head to the conference finals and the Blazers face the Rockets and defeat them 4-2. The Trailblazers, as you can tell, there seems to be a very odd pattern here, go on to defeat the Celtics 4-2 in the NBA Finals to make a three-peat and Michael Jordan's 3rd NBA championship before any of his original ones had ever happened. Once again, he is crowned Finals MVP. And going into the offseason, Michael and Drexler are extremely happy since they have won 3 of the last 3 NBA Finals and look to seek their 4th the following year. Once again, the offseason ends and we go into Michael Jordan's 4th NBA season, the 1987 season. The season plays out as normal, no injuries, and Drexler and Jordan are happy and look to seek their 4th NBA championship in a row. At the end of the 1987 season, the Trailblazers finish 58-24 and finish 3rd in the West. Magic Johnson again is crowned MVP. The Blazers aren't so hot of a team. They finish 3rd in the West and are the 3rd seed in the NBA tournament. The Trailblazers will then go on to defeat the Dallas Mavericks in 6 games 4-2. Then they will go on to play the Houston Rockets. The Rockets are swept by the Trailblazers 4-0 Then an extreme tragedy strikes. When the Trailblazers move on to play the Utah Jazz, they are swept 4-0, and the Jazz end their streak of a three-peat. The Jazz then go on to play the 76ers in the championship and are swept in 4 games 4-0 by Charles Barkley and the 76ers. Charles Barkley is then crowned Finals MVP, and we move into the offseason. Jordan and Drexler were not happy about the way the 1987 season ended. So, in 1988, they were hoping it would be a big year. It was also a big year for the NBA. It was the first year for the Magic, Timberwolves, and Hornets, and the season continued like every other season, no injuries, and at the end of the season, the Portland Trailblazers finished 56-26. Magic Johnson was again crowned MVP in the 1988 playoffs. Jordan and Drexler looked to redeem themselves. The Portland Trailblazers cruised easily through the Houston Rockets and defeat them in 6 games, 4-2. Then they play their dreaded arch-rival in the playoffs, the Los Angeles Lakers, in the Western Conference Finals. And once again, the Portland Trailblazers defeat the Los Angeles Lakers by going 4-1 and going to play the Milwaukee Bucks, who they defeat 4-0 in the NBA Finals. And the Portland Trailblazers are crowned NBA champs once again and gain their 4th championship. Michael Jordan is again crowned Finals MVP for the 4th time. So far, it looks as if Drexler and Michael are unstoppable. They look to be able to keep it going for a while. Only 5 years into his career, and already Michael has 4 championships. What are you thinking? This is fairyland? Clyde Drexler's contract expires in the 1988 off-seasons, and the Trailblazers lose Drexler, and Jordan is on his own. Entering the 1989 season, Jordan has no Drexler, and he is all by himself. This is the season of the notorious shot. Let's see if it happens, since Jordan has no support man with him. In the middle of the season, the Trailblazers seem to struggle without Drexler, starting off with a record of 22-19. At the end of the 1989 season, the Portland Trailblazers finished with a record of 45-39, which is their worst season by far since Michael's been on the team. The Trailblazers sadly finish 6th in the West. For the first time, Hakeem Olajuwon wins the MVP. The Trailblazers barely make the playoffs by making the 7th seed and play the Utah Jazz in the first round. They end up sweeping the Jazz by going 4-0, then go on to play the Los Angeles Lakers in the second round and are defeated for the first time in 4 years by the Los Angeles Lakers. The Lakers then go on to play the Spurs and are defeated 4-1. The Spurs go on to play the Pistons in the NBA Finals and lose 4-2. The Pistons and Isaiah Thomas are crowned NBA champions for the first time in their history as an NBA team, going into the 1990 offseason. Well, our journey ends here. I'm sad to say that Jordan decides to leave the Portland Trailblazers, coming 2 championships short of what he did with the Chicago Bulls, and instead decides to go join up with John Stockton and the Jazz. It was a fun journey, and I really thought Jordan could pull it off and win more than 6 championships and reach his goal with the Trailblazers. But not enough things went right, especially when Drexler left the team and Jordan fell short the year before. But yeah, I really wish they could have pulled it off. Well, that's going to be it for today's video, guys. Thank you for watching. I know it took a long time, and if you made it this far in the video, make sure to comment down below Jordan so I can know that you made it this far. And if you enjoyed, make sure you can like and subscribe. It goes a long way. And if you have any suggestions for future videos or you want to see something in particular, comment it down below too. I read all comments because I don't get that many. And yeah, roll the credits.